Hello. Hopefully you can hear and see me. I'm just going to copy this clipboard. I'm going to send a link. I'm going to send a link up. There's the link. Should you wish to join me, I have a little studio visible to me, and I can pop people in there, and subject to you actually not being nude, I might pop you up into the screen. You can share the screen with me. Okay, I'm just going to go and shut a door, and I'll be just back in a second. Emergency supplies. Right. Let's see if we can get you into full screen. Yeah, there you're in full screen. Right, so Zarathis 001. Hello. How are you? Orion 1. Good morning where you are. Good afternoon where I am. Watch Nude. Hello. Welcome to the northwest of England. As you can see, it's currently not raining, which is rare because it's been very rainy. So any particular topics, you want to pop a topic in there you would like to talk about, have a chat about, ask me any questions. Not that I know a lot of anything, but, you know, I will help you out if I can. Anything you want to know? Pedro, hello Pedro. Hola. So I've been hearing a lot of rumours regards Basel World and what might be happening. So the first few rumours I've heard. Hello Shah Horology. The first few rumours I've heard that Basel World is on the way down, that people are not really interested in it anymore. The brands aren't interested, so that over the next few years it's expected that Basel World is a watch and jewellery show in Switzerland. If you didn't know, that will become more jewellery orientated, and there was less and less watch stuff there. The watch brands have started to release more stuff outside of the big events because of the power of social media marketing, you know. But there's a lot of people who are trying to predict what the new Rolex is going to be. So there's a lot of people now currently saying, I'll show you this. Yeah, I get a lot of people saying, wash your hands. Unfortunately, if you can see, I have a manual job, so my hands, yeah, and that's just because it's just what it is. I've got some white gloves, so if you need to do a review of a watch, I can with white gloves. However, I do feel, personally, that a bit of a silly beggar wearing white gloves to handle a watch that I own. I don't, you know, fair enough if it's something that's not belonging to me and is brand new, and yeah, well, otherwise. But that's aside. So yes. Anyway, so the new Rolex, the rumours going round that I've gathered are that the Submariner's getting a new mechanism, which is overdue because the watch mechanism is in excess of 25 years old, I believe. And the Tudor has got one of the 70-hour power reserves, so currently the Tudor Black Bays are outclassing the Rolex Submariners, you know, as far as watch performance and stuff. Just popping a bit of chocolate down there. I'm not sneaking a bit of chocolate. So that's one of the rumours. Another little rumour I've had is that Tudor are going to be releasing several new watches this year, new models, so to say. And the Tudor person in charge of Tudor in the UK has hinted that there's a few that are going to be released, and you're going to want to buy at least 2 of them. That's what he said to the person that told me. So that's what I hear. I don't know what you think, but my money's on some smaller black bays following the 58 pattern. I would like to see a smaller GMT, but I don't think that's going to happen because the GMT is such a hot seller. The Black Bay 58 is a really hot seller, and they're having trouble keeping up with demand. So, kind of like, they're obviously going to take production of a model that isn't so good sales-wise and use that capacity somewhere else. Yeah, so are we going to get a coloured 58? I don't know. Yeah. Come and get it, Mr. Zerathis. I believe, Mr. Zerathis, I believe you won a watch from another channel. I think you were the winner on the Cornish watch reviews. I spoke to Ted the other day and he was telling me that you all won, so congratulations there. I've got a watch giveaway on my channel as well. We're giving away a G-Shock, so should you want to check out some of the other videos on my channel, you will find that there's a G-Shock giveaway. All you have to do is like, comment and subscribe, the usual shizzle, and you put in the draw for a Casio, which is a Royal Oak style G-Shock. Go and have a look. It's also known as the G-Shock GA 2100, I believe. Hello, Mr. Lee Jasavok. Hello again. Hello to Lee from Yorkshire. I believe Lee's in Yorkshire. So, yes, so should you like to, yeah, sums me up, this look, plain lazy. Should you wish to enter a G-Shock competition, there is one in the channel, so just sort of... Hi, Ted. Yeah, hello. Right, should anyone wish to join me, I will post this through, and if you either click on the link, yeah, lots of people talking to Daddy. I've got 5 people talking to me. What have you come for?
That's my video.
Hey. Right, go on, cause some trouble elsewhere. Tell Freddie I've got chocolate. Hi, Shah Horology. Yeah, so if you want to join me on the live stream, I've just posted the link there. You can. He's fine. He's absolutely fine. Cornish is just saying hello to my son there. He's absolutely fine. There's no problems with him. He's much better. He's much improved. They've all been playing football this morning, so yeah, they've all had their exercise. I'll take them out later with the dog for a walk. So, right, and I've just completely forgotten what I was saying. So I think I was talking about new Tudor models. That was it, Basel. So there's going to be some, basically. As for anything else, I don't know. So if you've got any other topics you want to pop in there, if there's anything I can show you, my wrist check for today, it's hello in California. Hello, Orion. I'll just take this off because you can't see it. This is a recent eBay purchase. It is cheap as chips Seiko. I don't know if you can see it there. It's been modified a little bit to look like a Blau Pain 50 fathoms. It's called the Seiko 55 fathoms. Bracelet is nice and wiggly. Nice and tinny, pressed clasp. So typical Seiko quality there, you know. Yeah, and it doesn't have hacking or hand winding. It's just you wear it and it goes. You know, you can set the time. There's no date on it. I think it's probably a date wheel there. So if you put the right dial on there, the right watch face, it would show the date. But this one hasn't got one. But I quite like that, and it's very comfortable to wear. So I've got that one on. Counterfeit watches on eBay. Yes, there are lots of counterfeit watches on eBay. No, it's not nice. If you mess about, I'll turn off your internet. You listening?
That means you can't stream.
Yeah. It's a smart ass, isn't he? Right, so before, when I first started, my very first proper watch was this one. So that was my first proper watch. I got that about 5 years ago on a leather strap. So that's a Christopher Ward, it's a quartz. And when I got this, I just felt like James Bond, you know. I felt it was a brilliant watch. And after a few years, I just decided, and I shut that door again, they've opened the door, haven't they? Boys, quiet down, please. Come on. Yeah, after a few years, I decided that I was going to buy myself a proper watch. So I did some research into Rolex because everyone knows about Rolex. Everyone knows about Rolex, and not knowing anything, I thought that, you know, £1,000 would get you a Rolex, because £1,000 at the time was, you know, a reasonable amount of money to me. I thought, oh, I could just steam into a Rolex dealer and get one for £1,000. No. So 12 months ago, I find out you can't buy a Rolex for £1,000. That they're 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, and upwards. That was a bit of an eye opener, and then also that you can't buy one. So what I decided to do was to buy some other things which weren't real. So I went on DHgate and I bought 3 watches. I bought myself a Rolex, a Omega, and what was the other one? A Tudor. That was it. All fake, all for 75 quid. Yeah, all off DHgate. Now, they all work, sort of. They all keep time. The Rolex, it leaks water, so it's not waterproof. This Omega copy here, it keeps time. It's not a real Omega. It doesn't look like any Omega there ever was. And it came on a 007 bracelets, and I haven't got a clue what it was. It's just all a bit wrong, you know, but it works, and the bezel action is quite nice. Can't ever sell it, can't ever give it away. I just keep it for my own personal use. The Rolex, well, that's horrible. Bezel action is crap, and the face looks wrong. So yeah, so there's a lot of fake watches out there, but what I found through buying the proper stuff is that I don't want the fake watches. You know, I do like homages, and I've got some of the real stuff as well. But as I've been looking, I've realised that the fake watches are designed to be sold on. So you will go onto a forum, for example, and you'll click on a DHgate, and they'll say, "Do you want a box with it?" And you'll get a Rolex, you'll get a Rolex card, you'll get a bill of sale, you'll get a swing tag, and that's also somebody can put them onto eBay, which is what I'm getting onto. So that's why there's so many fake watches on eBay, because there's people buying them off Chinese websites for £300 or £400, and obviously they're trying to sell them for £5,000 and catch someone out. What is the beat per minute on the Omega? I've got no flipping idea, mate. I've got no ear testing. I don't know. But it doesn't jump. You know, it's all right. Just looks wrong, and I know it's fake, so I don't wear it. Yeah, so there's a lot of people out there trying to catch you out, and at the moment there's some really close faked Orises. What are you eating? Okay. There's some really scary fake Tauruses out there, as well as all the usual Rolex and stuff. So, buy everywhere, really. No, go on. Do you want this or not?
No.
So if you are going to buy anything, make sure you've got all your customer protections in place. Obviously use PayPal and all that. You'll get your money back, hopefully, if it's fake. A friend of mine bought something via Amazon that purported to be iPhone earbuds for his son. And when he arrived, they obviously weren't. They were faulty, so he got another set sent out. But he realised they were fake, so he approached Amazon, or was it eBay or Amazon, one of the two, with the information that these items were fake. And they basically said, send them back to the supplier. They didn't really want to know. We'll sort you out with a refund once you've sent them back to the supplier. And he said, well, they're fake. You know, they're faulty and they're fake. Why should I send them back to the supplier? Because then the supplier is going to pass them on to somebody else. So what he ended up doing was he contacted the police and trading standards as well. So he basically didn't send the items back. He kept hold of it. He got a case number from the police, informed Amazon that these items were fake. He was going to keep them because he wasn't willing to send them back to the person that sent him the fake shit. And he got a refund from the PayPal or Amazon or wherever it was. Hi, Clam. And yeah, he got his refund. The items got destroyed and everyone's happy. And I believe the person that was selling them, my friend was informed that the person that was selling them was investigated by trading standards and raided. And he was selling somewhere in the region of 100 and 150,000 pounds worth of gear. I don't know if it was per year or per month, all fake. So just goes to show that by just sort of turning a blind eye and posting the damn things back out again to the people to get a refund, it's not the right thing to do. As far as the fake watches go, yes, there are copied movements out there, but there are slight differences. If you look at the regulation of the Rolex, the regulation system is different to the regulation on a Chinese copy. They use the standard regulation. They've got like a fake balance wheel bridge. The finishing is much different. Close up on the eye, you can tell. They're designed to fool people into thinking that they're a good quality fake, and they're just not at all good quality. They're cheap, nasty things assembled, but they're designed to part you from your 500 quid because you're daft enough to buy what you think is a one-to-one copy. Right. Oh, so we've got 11 people on the stream at the moment. So thumbs up. That's the most people I've ever had on a live stream. So again, well, Shah Horology, yeah, 90% of people won't know that the fake watch is fake and are going to get tricked. So that's what the criminal, which is, you know, the person that's selling the fake watch, wants. He wants to obviously make money at somebody else's expense. So that's what it's all about. The person that is wearing a watch because he just wants a bit of style on his wrist but doesn't want to pay £7 grand. Well, you know that. Why? You can see, you can look someone up and down, and you can see this big watch on the wrist, and you see the car he's getting, and you know that it's fake. You know, because I was at school pickup the other day, and I don't know if you've seen those triangular high horology watches that all the football managers wear, cost 70, 80, 250,000 pounds. I saw a dad picking a kid up from school, and he gets into a crappy old car, and big puff of smoke and off it goes. And he was wearing one of those, so obviously, you know, not real. Because if he's got 70, 250 grand, 70 grand or whatever to buy a watch like that, it wouldn't be vanishing down the road in a big puff of blue smoke, you know. So, yeah, anyway, right. Wrist check time. What are you wearing? What are you wearing right now? And I'll put it out there again. So anyone wants to join me on the live stream, you know, I can get you on the screen here and we can have a little chat one-to-one. I'll paste a link. So you paste that link into your browser. You'll come up in my little control panel down here. I'll check you've got your clothes on. If you've got your clothes on, you know, you've done the pots, you can come up here, all right. Watch noob, yes, the person spending 12 grand on a Rolex. But to be honest, wrist check time, I have now put on my Tudor Pelagos left-hand drive. That is Tudor Pelagos lefty there, which is one of my favourite watches, which I quite like wearing on the weekend. Gives it a good charge up, charge your watch, and it will run till Thursday, you know. It's definitely coffee time, yeah, Mr. Walker. Breitling Navitimer, very nice. I'm not massively a fan of Breitlings myself, but you know, I can see the appeal, and that they appear to be good quality watches. I've never actually seen one. Tell a lie, I've seen two in the flesh. And I've actually been in a dimly lit pub and sat next to a guy and chatting to him for about 3 hours before I spotted it. He got a black Rolex GMT that was real on his wrist as well. So that was a nice surprise, a nice conversation. Bulova with so what? That's a bit bling, isn't it, Mr. Watchdube? Bulova with. I think somebody needs to come up here, and we need to do this. You know, I'm gonna get you all up. You know, all of you. I can probably get 6 people up. I think 6 people. We can all do this multiple wrist shot thing. Yeah. Link browser. Click through. You come. All right. Yeah. A Lang's Honor. What is that Lang? Is that the German Lang? Casio Illuminator Vibration used for 20 quid, 12 quid. Nice. Yeah. So, right. I'm going to see if I can. Can't. So if you go, if you get a chance, subscribe to the channel. I'm four subscribers away from 400. So 400 is a bit of a goalpost for this weekend, really. So if I can get enough up to 400 this weekend, I'll be very pleased. But there's also if you go through my previous videos, there are videos of me giving away a G-Shock. So I'm giving away a G-Shock on the channel. It's there. Check the previous videos out. 250 views on the G-Shock giveaway, and yeah, check that out. So I'm just going to go and do a live check now, see how many subscribers I've got, see if anyone has joined me. Bit boring, I know. Any other topics? You're not on Wi-Fi with your phone. Won't let you on. That's probably because you're live streaming, mate. You got the watch fever at the age of 8. Your mum gave you your first watch. Timex, Cub Scouts, right? Thank you, Mr. James Blackman. Nice, Bradner. A Bradner. Spinnaker. Well, do you know? I was in 1968. Spinnaker, they had a massive promotion on Spinnakers about 6 months ago. You know, they were releasing a few models and they were all over the internet, weren't they? There's nothing up with Spinnakers. I quite like them. The only problem with them is, right, so we're 397, 3 more to get to 400, and the door's been left open again. Don't you just love kids? So, yeah, I quite like the Spinnakers. Is anyone into micro brands? Is that anyone's cup of tea on there? Anyone into messing about on micro brands? To be honest, it's very rarely that I see a micro brand that I'd actually buy. I see a lot of micro brands, and they look like they've been half-assed designs. You know, some of them look nice, some of them don't. Zelos Mako 3 in teal. The Zelos is quite a big watch, isn't it? Is it quite a deep watch? Fat Max in bed with man flu. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see we just don't want to see the full horror of that. Plus, you might be naked. You wouldn't get on if you were naked. I'm sorry. No, we don't want to see that. The Zelos Mako 3 in teal. Yeah, and Cornish likes micro brands. So, is there anything you're waiting for? Is there anything you want to get hold of on the micro brand front? So I'm not a big fan of micro brands. I'm not massively keen, but I've got what I've got. So that's one of my can't afford a Rolex watches. So that's a Tissel. I quite like that. That's very nice and comfortable. And if you look at the profile, it's quite small. Look at the case design. That is pre-maxi case sort of style. It wears nice and small, and it's very comfortable to wear. So yeah, I like that one. It's one of my favourites. Fat Max not naked. He's probably just slobbing out in an old t-shirt or something like that. Yeah, with the sweats. So this is a parnis. It's very much, obviously, Rolex GMT inspired. I've done a video about it, but the case size there, if you look, and compare them, compare and contrast, there's not much in it, but that one's definitely inspired by the maxi case. You can see the slightly bigger lugs, and then if you look at the size of it as well, it's slightly thicker. Yeah. There's not massive amounts in it, but I do think that the Tissel is just a bit more streamlined. When you look at them, softer edges as well. Yeah, but I've been into buying a few.
No one's all there.
So yeah. You like the boulder? So yeah, it depends on the price though, doesn't it? Because you can buy quite a lot. So you can buy quite a lot for yeah. You can buy quite a lot of normal watches for around about the price you pay for a micro brand. You know, Christopher Ward, IWC is nice. Christopher Ward, you can buy 500 quid to £1,000. You can buy a really nice watch, but obviously the design it's a bit Marmite, so you either love it or you hate it. So that's a parnis I picked up recently, featured in a video. What are you doing? Can I have some chocolate? Do you want some chocolate?
Don't know. We've got 3 people watching it.
8.
Oh, I don't know. I looked at the comments. I didn't think one.
Yeah, go and play your Fortnite game. Go on.
No, I ain't playing Fortnite.
What are you playing?
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. So I did start collecting these, which was, as far as microbrands go, these are not a microbrand, but I did start collecting these. This is quartz, and it reminded me of my youth, because when I was a kid, used to be into snowboarding, surfing, going down Cornwall in the summer and stuff like that. Never actually surfed. We used to do grass boarding and skateboarding and snowboarding, but never actually surfed. Should have done, really. But this is an animal watch, and they made hundreds and hundreds of different ones, and they're quite collectible now. So if you've got a series 1 animal, then that's worth a bit of money. But that's what I picked up recently. You can pick these up for buttons. Phoebos, yeah, I like them. They do some really nice watches, but it's all dependent on the price, isn't it? You don't want to pay too much for them, you know. It's got a really nice, I don't know if you can hear that. Basel, actually, can you hear that? Really nicely sounds like a safe. But the bezel's quite interesting, because if you rotate the bezel, you see that the inner stays and the outer moves. Yeah. And then the watch face has got the date at the top, 12, 4 and 8. Well, obviously it's the quartz, 20 quid. I think I've got this for 20 quid. Eye sharp. So I quite like that. I did start buying them, but a couple of them turned up and they were pretty banged up, disappointing. And I just thought, you know, no, because they're quite collectible. There's a lot of people buying them. Animal. This one is an animal. It's an old UK surf brand, you know, like O'Neill, Nixon, that sort of thing. And it was what people would buy in the 90s. People started buying them. So if you check out Animal surf watches, there's a load of history there. There's a load of people collect them. Well, Clam, yes, you're right. So there's a few issues at the moment with the Tudor GMT and date problems, and they seem to be endlessly. People have sent them back twice now to have new movements put in. So there's a lot of that sort of thing going on. So yeah, but I've got a ruck of parnis watches here. I'm not going to pull them all out, but just like looking parnis. I've done a video on these, and that video is doing quite well. I've got nearly 2,000 views on it, you know, so that's good. But parnis, cheap as chips, you know, 50 quid, 75 quid, you get something that's reasonably well made and pretty reliable, you know. So if you want a bit of bang per buck, it's there for you. At the moment, I'm saving up really, so I'm not really buying anything. This came the other day, so I've got some digital calipers so I can measure things with my digital calipers. The other purchase I got the other day was them. You know, a bit sad in it, and that's it. So I've got no watches inbound apart from the Casio G-Shock for the giveaway. Find the giveaway in the channel. You can win yourself, subscribe, comment and like. You can win yourself a Casio G-Shock watch. Quite a nice thing actually. So anyone would like to join me, I will paste the link up. Anyone wants to come up and have a one-to-one chat that's not tappity tap, you know, clothes and lipstick, you can come on. When you click on the link, you'll appear in my sort of inbox down there. I can see you, I can pop you up. So if you want to come on and have a chat, that's what you do. Yeah, it's a very strange thing, isn't it, when you consider the amount of money, you know, the watch that you want is. It might be £1,000, £500, £200, 50 quid, 7 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand. You know, it's like, what else could you do with that money? Could you put it in the bank? Could you pay a bit of your mortgage off? And when you start talking about the high-end stuff, you know, there's a temptation to walk into the dealer and get like 0% finance and put it on the tick and walk around with your tag Ewer and paying it off 50 quid a week. So, you know, that there's always that option, but I personally don't like it. I personally like to pay for something and not have it hanging over me. Well, Ted, get on the competition and you might win it, which I think you already are there, mate, to be fair. And you might win a G-Shock, Casio, you know. It'd be an uproar, wouldn't it? It'd be fixed. But it's a blue one that's inbound. I've had an email from my supplier the other day. I blagged a discount on it because I was going to promote their brand. They're like a continental sports company based in Spain. They have these Casios listed as available. So, yeah. So I got on it and negotiated a deal with them, and they promised to post one out, but they're out of stock. So I just keep getting messages saying delivery date changed, out of stock, and all that sort of stuff. Oh, good luck to you, Watch Noob. So if you're on there and you've commented and subscribed at the end of the draw, when I get to 1,000, so it's costing me a bit of money, this watch, so I would like to draw it when I get to 1,000. That would be a massive milestone for me. So it could take 4 months before it's drawn. But like I say, I haven't got the watch now at the moment in my hand to show you because it's not arrived in the post yet. So when it arrives, I'll do a video of it. And but I definitely want 1,000 subs before I draw that. So you bought a Zelos. Did you get the teal one, like you were talking about? Or did you get any other particular colour? The straps, are they the ones with the really thick, heavy straps? Has anyone seen that Belova curve? Has anyone seen the Belova curve? It's currently on sale in local jewellery firm. And what it is it's a curved watch. So the glass is curved, the whole watch body is curved. It's quartz, it's a Belova quartz. I think it's on sale. It's on about £250. But the watch face is curved inside the watch. Yeah, so I was put onto that the other day, and I quite like Belovas. You know, obviously, if you can't afford a Speedy, you might as well get yourself a Belova or something. You know, because that did go to the moon as well, apparently. So you've heard of the curve. Yeah, I don't know though, because I haven't tried one on yet, but from the pictures it looked great. And then I just think, you know what, I'll put it on my wrist and it'll just look like a modern thing, you know. And it's one of the things that'll look great for about 2 weeks, and then you'll start feeling, you know, at my age, don't want to be trendy, you know. You'll start thinking to yourself, it's a bit of its time. And the last thing you want to do is buy something that dates. So you don't want to put something on your watch that's flares and afros, you know, when everyone's wearing skinny jeans, do you? No. See you later, Cornish. Take care. Thanks very much for joining us. I've got a couple of vintage timepieces as well, Mr. Orion. I have got, where is it? possibly upstairs. I've got a vintage hand wound thing, which is probably going to go onto eBay because it's too small and I never wear it. Yeah, men were smaller in those days. Well,
What floors are in there?
so right, I've been on for nearly 45 minutes. I think I've probably not said very much. Probably just going to wind it up in a little few more minutes. If anyone else has got any more questions, just feel free to ask away. I've been spending my morning removing old hard disks from old computers and going through them and recovering pictures that I thought I'd lost. So that's what my morning's been consisting of. Very exciting, not. But
I didn't put the thing in. I didn't put the thing in with the side.
well, thank you very much, Mr. Orion. It's this is the extension. We built it on the back of the house, and this is the main living area. Is sort of that way. You know, could have got a few Rolexes from what it cost as well. But you've got to be comfortable, haven't you? Oh, there is one thing I can show you actually. I've got a new thing I forgot to mention. I went onto this watch channel and I don't know who it was. I've lost track of who it was, but he bought one of these. And I think I was the second person on there to look at his video. And I thought, I bought one of these before, but it was crap, is the word. One he bought looked much better. And it was price-wise, it was all right. So I just clicked on the little link and bought myself these clip-on lenses for a phone. So I can now do, for my next video, I will be able to do macro shots of, you know, and just to see how they come out. But that's a nice little kit. Just a couple of lenses in. I'm going to look forward to trying that out in the next video.
No, you're wrong.
If anyone's got any
That's 3 packets.
final questions before I go, or anything they want to say, or anyone wants to join me, I'll post the link up for the final time. If anyone wants to join me for a few minutes to have a chat, just put that into your browser, click on, and you can come up here. Is anyone in Australia? How are you coping with the bushfires over there? I've got 8 people on. Excuse me, Noah. Son's banging on the bin, which is nice.
Yeah, because you're trash at YouTube.
Yeah, he says he's banging on the bin because I'm trash at being a YouTuber. He's probably right, to be fair. Not very good at this.
Which is true. Noah.
Most vintage pieces do have smaller case sizes.
Thank you.
Don't
I'll
wait.
give it back. I'm opening it in.
That's just an inherent. Yeah, vintage watches do tend to be smaller, but even going back, you know, into the 90s, watches were smaller. Right, that's it. You're not having any more chocolate. That's Daddy's Christmas present. Go on, off you go.
I want to see what the next comment is, and hopefully it's not about me.
It's talking to 5 people.
No one's talking about you.
Yeah. But they probably will be talking about you soon. How much of a loser you are.
Very kind of you, Noah.
Yeah.
Right, I think it's time for me to turn this off. So thank you very much for joining me,
Bye.
and I really would appreciate, you know, if you're not a subscriber to the channel,
Do
like,
split
comment, and
screen
subscribe.
like when you do it with the other person.
There's no one else up there, and I shall leave it there. So thank you very much, and we'll catch you next time. Ciao. Bye bye. Ciao. I can't say that. That's TGV says that.